Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we are going to create users API. We are going to create get all users API, and we will going to create edit user API, and also we are going to create delete user API. Let's do one by one. For that, go to routes, API route. We create a new route. All users route colon. To get all route, we are going to use get method, and the URI will be all dash users. In action, API controller colon class. Then we need to specify our method name. Let it say get all users. Next, we need to name our route. I am going to mention get all users. Control S for save. Next, we need to create method in our API controller. Copy this one. Go to app. Inside HTTP controllers API controller.php. Public function, and here our method name get all users. Inside curly braces, to get all users, we are going to use user model user colon get. Let me store this in variable called users. It will return all the users in our database from users table. If not $of users, we are going to return false response. Return response in JSON format inside array status fail message as no users found with the status code 404. If there is no users mean, we are going to return status as fail with a message no users found, the status code 404. If users found, then we will return response JSON inside array status success will return data users as data. Control S. With the status code 200. Control S for save. I will test this in Postman. In our Laravel API project, let's create new request, add request. Let it say all users. Here our method is get, and here we need to input our endpoint. Instead of login, we are going to mention our URI value. This is our endpoint URL. Click send. See here status success. The status code 200. Here we have list of users we have created earlier, right? Let's add count here. Go to API controller. After status, let's add count, and the value is count of $of users. Control S for save. Go to Postman. Sorry, I have mentioned in wrong place. Copy from here. In success response, we need to mention count of users. Go to Postman. Click send. See, there are 8 users in our database. Thank you. See you on next lecture. Hello everyone. Welcome to this lecture. In previous lecture, we created Get All Users API. In this lecture, we are going to create Edit User API. First, we need to create route in our api.php. Route ::. We are going to use put method for editing. And our URI will be /user. For edit, we need to pass user ID as parameter. In curly braces, we mention user ID. Next, as usual, in action, API controller : class. Then we need to specify our method name, edit user. Next, we need to name our route. Let's say edit user. Control S for save. For edit, we need to pass user ID as a parameter. For parameter, we need to pass inside curly braces. We need to mention our user ID. This is our method name. This is our name of the route. Let's copy this one. Go to our controller. Let's create new method. Edit user API. Public function edit user. Here we need to pass two arguments. One is our user ID, it is integer. Then we need to pass request parameters. For that we are going to use request packets. First we are going to check user exist. User find by ID user of ID. Let's store this result in variable called user $of user. It will return user data. Let's check condition if not $of user means there is no user exist in our database. So we are going to return response JSON inside array status fail message no user form with the status code 404. Control is. Next we are going to validate request. For validate, let's create variable called validator. We are going to use validator packets : make. First we need to pass our parameter request of all. Then we need to mention our validation rules. For edit user, we need to pass name, this required, and also we need to pass email, this also required. Let's change name and email first, and the name must be minimum 4 characters. For more than one validation we need to use pipeline symbol, and the email, it should be in email format. If validation fail means we need to return error message. Validator fails, we are going to return response JSON format inside array status fail message. We are going to return validator message. Insert message we are going to use errors with the status code 400. If there is no validation means, then save our user of name equal to request of name and user of email equal to request of email. For save user, we are going to use save method. After user saved successfully, we need to return success response. Return response inside array status success message user updated successful. And also we are going to return updated user data. Control S for save. I am going to test this in Postman. First, we need to create new request, add request. Let it say edit user. Our method is going to be put method. Here we need to mention our endpoint. API.php, we have mentioned our endpoint user. Next to the user, we need to pass user ID. So to get a user ID, go to all users. We have 3, 4, up to 10. First, let's add invalid user. User ID 11. There is no user in the ID of 11. Let's test it out. Click send. We are getting this error. Let's check. Okay. Here we need to pass request parameters. Let's pass empty array. Again the same error. Actually, this is typo error. Sorry for that. Here we need to return. Control S for save. Let's do test. Here the name field is required, email field is required. The validation, our validation is working fine. Okay. See, there is no user found in the ID of 11. Okay. Let's do real testing. Let's change name and email for the user ID 10. User 10 and the email as user10@gmail.com. Click send. See, we have got status code 200, status success, user updated successfully. Here is the updated user data. Let's quickly walk through what we have done so far. So first, we have mentioned we have created our edit user route. our method is put method. Here we have passed user ID in URL parameter. Then in API controller, we have created new method called edit user. Here we have passed two arguments. One is our user ID and second one is our request data. First, we will check user validation whether the user is existing in our database or not by using user : find. If there is no user, we will return no user found. Then if user exists, then we will do our request field validation. Name, email, both are required. The name must be minimum 4 characters and the email should be in email format. If the validation fail means we will return validation error. If there is no validation error means we will save our user data and then we will return success response with the updated user data. Here I forgot to mention our status code. By default, the status code is 200. Thank you. See you on next lecture. Hello everyone. In previous lecture, we have created our edit user API. In this lecture, we will create delete user API. Let's get started. Go to routes, API route. First, we need to specify route for our API. For this route : we are going to use delete method. First, we need to specify our URI. For delete, we need to pass user ID in the URL like we did for the edit user, right? Like the same, we need to pass user ID here. Then in action, API controller : class. Next, we need to specify our method name. Let me say delete user. Let name it as delete user. Then with semicolon, Control H for save. Then we need to specify our method in our API controller. Go to your controller, app, http, controllers, API, API controller.php. After our edit user method, we are going to create new method. Public function. Our function name is, method name is delete user. In the parameter, we need to pass, we need to get our user ID. It is going to be integer. User ID. Here, first, we need to check whether the user is existing or not. If not, we will send response as failure. If user found, we will delete the user and then we will return success response with status code 200. First, we are using user model find by user ID. Let's store this in user variable. Let's check one condition. If not user means we will send failure response, return response JSON format inside array status fail, comma, will send a message no user found with the status code 404. If the user is found, then we are going to delete the user by using the command user of delete. Then we will return success response. Sorry for the typo. Return response JSON inside array. The status will be success and the message will be user deleted successful. The status code 200. Control is for save. I will test this in Postman. Let's create a new request. Add request. Let it say delete user. Our method is delete. Here we need to mention our API endpoint user. Here we need to pass our user ID. Go to all users. Let's take any one of the user. Let's take this one. Before that, let's check our validation whether it is working or not. That is invalid user ID 15. Click send. Our validation is working fine. Status fail, no user found. Now I am going to test it by real user with ID 10. Status success, user deleted successfully. Go to database. Users. Go to data. See, the user ID 10 has been deleted from our database. So quickly walk through what we have done so far. First, we have created our delete user route. Our method is delete. Here in the URL, we will pass user ID. Then this is our method name. We have named it as delete user. Then in the API controller, we have created a new method called delete user. In the argument, we will pass user ID. First, we will check from user table by the user ID. If the user is not found, we will return failure response with the status code 404. The message no user found. If the user is found, then we will delete the user by user of delete method. After delete, we will return success response, the status code 200. Thank you. See you on next lecture. Hello all. Welcome to end of this user API section. Let me walk through what we have done so far. In routes, api.php, here we have created 3 routes. One for get all user, another one for edit user. Here we have used put method, and third one for delete user API. For that we have used delete method. Here we have mentioned method in our API controller, get all user, edit user, delete user. In controller, here we have created method to get all user. First we will get all the user by loading user model. If there is no user means we will return response as failure with status code 404 with a message no user found. If there is any user means we will return success response with all the user data, and here we have mentioned count of users. Next we have created method for edit user API. In the argument we will pass user ID and request parameters. First we will check whether the user existing in our database or not by loading user : find by user ID. If there is no user, we return no user found with the status code 404. Then we have validated our request. Name field is required, email field required. The name must be minimum 4 characters and the email should be in email format. If validation fails, we return failure response with the status code 400 bad request. If validation passed, then we will update user by using user save method. Then we have returned success response with a message user updated successfully with the status code 200. Finally, we have created method for delete user API. We need to pass user ID as a parameter, that is integer. First, we have checked whether the user is existing or not by using user : find by user ID. If there is no user, we return 404 status code with the message no user found. If user exists, then we will delete user by using user of delete method. Then here we have written success message, the status code 200, message user deleted successfully. Thank you. See you on next lecture.